Hello and welcome back to 80 English Tutorials, and in this video this is part 2 for a doctor's journal entry for August 6, 1945. I have already told you about this title, the author, setting, everything, themes, imagery, narration style, everything has already been covered, and now we will understand the poem line by line and word to word. The morning stretched calm, beautiful and warm. Sprawling. Sprawling is कहते हैं ना फैल के सोना. So that is sprawling. Half clad. Half clad is half dressed up. Now when someone sleeps, he is not full in uh, full clothes, formal wear. No, he is in his comfort zone. He can half dressed up. He can be you know half clad is half dressed up. I gazed out at the form of shimmering leaves and shadows. So he looked out of the window, out of his bedroom, and he looked at what? The shimmering leaves. Why shimmering? Because of the sunlight and shadows of the people. Suddenly, a strong flash, then another startled me. Startled is chonkna. So, a strong flash then startled me. I saw the old stone lantern brightly lit. Magnesium flares. So he being a doctor, he has studied chemistry a lot and he's saying are those magnesium flares. Now I'll show you what are magnesium flares. This is a magnesium flare. Okay. So he being seeing the flare, the that flash, he says that are those magnesium flares. While I debated it, the roof, the walls, and as it seemed, the world collapsed in timber and debris. So now, as you all know, that here the bomb is being fired. So he's not able to understand what is happening now. So it seems that while he says that do it are those magnesium flares, but he himself debates it. He himself contradicts his sayings that the roof, the walls, as it seemed, the world collapsed in timber and debris. What is timber and debris? Timber and debris are the as we say malwa in Hindi. All old and worn out buildings. What are buildings made up of? Timber, then steel, then iron rods. So that is ultimately all those things are termed as timber and debris. So he thought that all the world has collapsed into that timber and debris. Dust swirled around me. So dust was all flowing around me. In the garden now. So timber and debris, dust swirled around me. It was, just flowing around me. In the garden and weird. My drawers and undershirt disappeared. My drawers are the undergarments. Undershirt is, you all know, undershirt. So that is worn under your shirt. And drawers are the undergarments that are worn on the lower body parts. So it all just disappeared. That is, he was all naked. A splinter jutted from my mangled thigh. A splinter, what is splinter? It is a small sharp log, you can say. Jutted is pierced. From my mangled is worn out. Thigh. My right side bled. So his right side was all bleeding. My cheek was torn and I dislodged det- detachedly a piece of glass. And a piece of glass was pierced into his cheeks. And he detached it from his cheeks. All the time wondering what had come to pass. All the time wondering what had come to pass. It means that he was wondering all the time that what has happened suddenly, what is happening over here. So he is some sort of surprised, right? And all these lines come to pass, and even the next one two lines, he is he is describing his physical pain. Where was my wife? Now, it was all about him till now. Now his wife also comes up. Where was my wife? Alarmed. Alarmed is alert. I gave a shout. I called him. Where are you, Yeko-san? Now, what is Yeko-san? Yeko-san is the name given to his wife. So he asks that, where are you, Yeko-san? Calling his name out, calling her name out. My blood gushed out. It was flowing out. The artery in my neck. So, if any other man would be, so he should have said that my neck is bleeding or the blood is coming out from my neck. He should have never said that the arteries of my neck are bleeding. No, that tells us that yes, he is a doctor. That is why the artery in my neck. Scared for my life, I called out, panic stricken to my wife. So he was so panicking. Everything was just, uh, you know, going in timber and debris. So he is now frightened. He's all the time, panic stricken. So he is calling his wife so that they may, go out of this place. Pale is frightened again. Blood stained, frightened. Yeko-san emerged. Now Yeko-san also comes here. Holding her elbow. We'll be fine, I urged. So I urged is the doctor urged. The doctor said that don't worry, we'll be fine. Let's go out quickly, stumbling to the street. Stumbling is when you are not able to walk, but still in that hurry, in that situation, you somehow manage to walk. Girte padte, any situation, you can just walk. Just you are just wanting to escape out from that place. So that is stumbling to the street. We fell tripped by someone, something at at our street. So something happened. Sorry, something just come before his their legs, and they fall down. Actually they didn't fall down, but something, किसी चीज से तो वो टकराए थे. Something has happened. I gasped out. I saw to it. Why? Sorry, when I saw it was a head. So it was a head. Head is skull, not skull, but just the head part, no other body part. So it was just a head. Excuse me, please excuse me. Ultimately, if it was a head, he was dead. So why will he say excuse me, excuse me? He was dead. A gate had crushed him. So what had happened to this man, the head man? He was being, crushed by a gate. There we stood afraid, a house standing before us, titled and swayed. Tilted is tedha ho jana, and swayed is just deh jana. Toppled is unstable. Crashed is just it was no more left as a house. Fire sprang up in the dust. Sprang up is uh, it was slowly and slowly increasing, spread by the wind. I it dawned on us we must. So he now come to his senses. Through this line we get to know. Now he was just, till now. He was just panic stricken. He was not able to understand what is happening. He was just doing anything possible. But now he is coming to his senses. It dawned on us we must. So now he is coming back to his senses. Get to the hospital. We needed aid. So we needed help. Just go to the hospital. Let's come. And I should help my staff too. Though this get to the hospital, we needed aid, and I should help my staff too. Though this made sense to me, then I wonder how I could. My legs gave away. So in the previous stanzas, we have already, in the previous lines, I'm sorry, we have already learned that we have already gone through that his thigh, that is his legs, were all, torn out. So that is why he says that my legs gave away. They are not of, I mean, they are not able to work now. I sat down to the ground. Thirst seized me. He was all thirsty, but no water could be found. My breath was short, but bit by bit my strength seemed to revive, and I got up at length. So, but by time, now when I sit down, by time, slowly and slowly, my strength was revived, and I got up that energy. I was still naked. In the previous lines, we have learned that we have seen that his undershirt and drawers were all uh, disappeared. It had all gone somewhere. It had just disappeared. So now he was naked. But I felt no shame. All that rush, chaos, everything, that war-like situation. No one is scared of his clothes and all. So I was still naked, but I felt no shame. This thought disturbed me somewhat till I came upon a soldier standing silently. So now he will meet a soldier. Till how now he was naked, but he was not thinking about it. His main target was how to save his life, his and his wife's life. So this soldier will give him towel. So who gave the towel round his neck to me? My legs, stiff and with dry blood, rebelled. They were saying no, that we cannot move. Ultimately, he could not move. I said to Yako-san, she must go on ahead. Yako-san, we just get to know about her, that she is her wife. She is his wife. He says that you should go because his legs have gave away totally. So the doctor says that to his wife that you must go on. So Yako-san says she did not wish to, but she was not going, leaving her husband. But in our distress, in our situation, the bad situation we were in, what choice had we? What was the choice we had? A dread loneliness came over me when she had gone. So now she goes, and a very dreadful is something which frightens someone. So a dreadful loneliness, akelapan, he that came over him when she had gone. My mind ran at high speed, so his mind was working at high speed. He was thinking how could he save his life. My body crept behind, so now he was creeping. I saw the shadowy forms of people. Some were ghosts, some were scarecrows. Now what are scarecrows? These are the long, it is just a kind of statues that are used by the farmers that could prevent their plants from insects and birds. So some were ghosts and some were scarecrows, just a way of saying that some were ghosts, some have already died, and some were scarecrows, and some were about to die. All were worldless dumb. No one was scared what was happening, what the other people is saying, but everyone has to rush, everyone has to escape from this situation. Arms stretched straight out, shoulder to dangling head. Arms stretched straight out. Now, arms stretched. Wait. So, arms stretched straight out, shoulder to the dangling hand. Now, someone around his neck, he was helping him to stand up. It took some time for me to understand. The friction on their burns caused so much pain. They feared to chafe flesh against flesh. So, what happened? Chaff is the friction, ragarna. So they were burnt so much that if they will, if their flesh would touch each other, their own flesh, it could have, by friction, the burns could have so much pain that it could be unbearable. That is why those who could shuffled in a blank parade. Now blank parade is that this line tells us that they had no emotion in them. No pain, no happiness, no sadness, no crying, nothing. They were all just blank. Towards the hospital I saw dismayed. So they were all going towards the hospital without any delay. Dismayed is without triggered by any nonsense type of things in between. A woman with a child stand in my path, both naked. So now in his path, a woman and a child stand here, and both were naked. Now he says, had they come back from the bath? So are they coming from the bathroom? They are naked, so are they coming from the bathroom? I turned my gaze, but was at a loss. So I mean, I looked around, and every man, everything, they were no, all they were all just, they were not, they didn't cared about their clothes, their uh, situation, but all want to escape from there. That she could stand. Thus I till I came across a naked man, then he looks and another naked man, and now the thought aroused that some strange thing had stripped us of our clothes. The face of an old woman on the ground was marred with suffering, and she had made no sound. So again ahead. Now this time it was a lady, an old woman on the ground. Silence was common to us all. I heard no cries of anguish or a single word. So they were all just, so afraid, so frightened that they were all just go to the hospital and feel safe there. All those the immediately now think that if any day you're just chilling at home and some bomb fires, what would be your situation? First will be, what is happening now, what we could do. And in that rush anguish, you will not understand yourself that what you are doing. So it was just a, it would be just a, a step to save your life. So this was the poem, and this is the explanation. Do visit the first part for other things, imagery and everything, that you'll find it out, the poetic devices there also. And if you find this video anywhere helpful to you, do like, share and subscribe, and wait for the next video to come. Thank you and have a nice day.